Good afternoon and welcome to Solent Sports News. It's 3:30, I'm Adam Oliver and these are your latest sporting headlines. Firstly, the Three Lions take on the USA later this evening in their second game of the World Cup. England are expected to name the same team as their 6-2 victory against Iran, despite some fears Harry Kane would miss the game. Southgate says that the England captain is fine ahead of the game.
Yeah, Harry's good, came through training, no problems, so yeah, it'd be a brave decision to leave him out the starting team.
I'm now joined by Ben Hayward, who can tell us more about the game and build up. What do you think, Ben? What's going to happen?
I'm really excited, Adam. Yeah, it's going to be a really good game tonight. I feel it's against the more difficult opposition in USA, but I still think England will prevail. We've got the likes of Harry Kane, Bukayo Saka and Mason Mount in form. We looked brilliant in the first game, and look, we've got a plethora of goal scorers in our side. Look, we're the second highest scoring team in the World Cup, all because of that magnificent Spain game the other night. But yeah, I'm really excited for tonight, and look, England and Gareth Southgate will be looking to build momentum and keep scoring goals essentially, so we pursue into the round.
Can I get a score prediction ahead of the game?
I'm going for a 2-1 myself. I'm going to go for, again, Jude Bellingham, first goal scorer, I feel that I can just kind of sense it.
Nice, we'd take that, wouldn't we? Although the taste of victory isn't yet certain for the Three Lions, the taste of beer is. England fans are expected to drink 30 million pints during tonight's match with the USA. This will boost the UK economy by £300 million. Pubs up and down the country are expected to be full for the Group B clash. We now cross live to Sharkies, where we've got Evan and James soaking in the early atmosphere. Guys, first of all, who's winning? And secondly, what's going on at Sharkies?
Thanks for that, Adam. I have to say, we're out here living the dream today, Evan. All England fans, obviously other England fans have been at work today. We've just been out here travelling around the pubs and having a couple of beers and playing a couple of pool games with our mates. So, you know, in the build-up to the game, how have you found it?
Yeah, it's been great. The dream for an England game day, really.
It's brilliant, isn't it? I'll let you do the honours and go first. I think you're slightly beating me at this moment in time, which I'm not happy about. Obviously, we saw the Wales game earlier as well, the big upset. What did you make of it all?
Yeah, I mean, from an England perspective, that Wales result was perfect for us. Makes our group a bit less stressful. Hopefully we can get the win tonight and secure our place into the next round of the World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, that's the dream. Obviously, Wales have got it all to do now with Wayne Hennessy being sent off earlier in the day and conceding 2 late goals to Iran. We also spoke to some pub owners earlier in the day in their preparations for the World Cup. It's going to be packed. As we can see in here, it's absolutely lively already. Sorry, it's my shot now.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a trickle of England fans come throughout Southampton through the day. A few Wales fans in the morning for their unfortunate loss in the game against Iran. But it's been busy, and definitely there's a buzz around Southampton now for the game against the USA.
Yeah, there certainly is, and with that in mind, there's only 30 minutes to go until the Netherlands games kick off. Let's join us in the VIP booth right now. I heard a stat today that apparently 30 million pints are being drunk over the course of today. It's England's first ever game, World Cup game on a Friday night. Should we add 2 more to that tally?
Absolutely.
Cheers.
The hosts were back in action as they faced Senegal in their second game of the tournament. Both teams came off back of defeats in their first games. We're going back over to Ben. Ben, how did this one finish?
It finished 3-1 to Senegal, Adam, and it was a thoroughly enjoyable second half, I must admit. It was the first win for Senegal this World Cup. But I must admit, Qatar looked much better since after their opening game in Group A. But Senegal just lacked that kind of cutting edge in the first half. It was obvious that they were missing their talisman in Sadio Mane, who was obviously out injured. But like I said, Qatar looked a completely different side compared to their opener. But the opener did come from Senegal in the 40th minute by striker Dia. He pounced on a centre-half error. Centre-half Cuckoo hashed at a clearance, kind of slipped over as he went to clear the ball from an in-swinging ball from Diatta. But it was a really good first-time finish from the striker. And then early on into the second half, just in the 48th minute, Diedhiou scored from a corner. It was a brilliantly whipped-in ball from the right-hand side. And it was a bullet header from the holding midfielder. But then again, Qatar started to dominate the ball a bit more, and they started to force some really good saves from Edouard Mendy. And as I'm about to say, the Premier League kind of quality kind of prevailed in the end. You had the likes of Edouard Mendy keeping his side in the game, Kalidou Koulibaly was demanding stuff from the back, and the two midfielders in front, in Papi Mendy and Idrissa Gueye, they were really solid in terms of the longevity of the game. But yeah, they did get their first goal, Qatar. They got back into the game in the 70th minute through Muntari. Again, it was a brilliant header. He's headed the ball down into the ground from an in-swinging cross, leaving Edouard Mendy no chance this time. And it was thoroughly deserved, but Senegal kind of rubbed salt in the wounds with Dieng scoring the third. And yeah, it's first win for Senegal, and it's very successful.
That sort of moves me on to my next question. Do you think that puts Senegal in the driving seat to take that second place in the group?
I think so, yeah. I think they're just warming up, Adam, to be honest. You saw bits of quality in the second half, but again, like I say, they still look very vulnerable at the back. Because they are conceding a lot of shots still. They're still forcing a lot of saves out of Edouard Mendy, which they kind of want to avoid in the long term of the cup. But yeah, I'm pretty certain they'll still qualify. Yeah.
Perfect, thank you, Ben. Sticking with Qatar, much has been said about the accommodation and conditions for fans out there. Our reporter Nima is in the country to give his experiences.
So far, so good. As far as I can tell from my point of view here as a fan of all the teams here, it's been absolutely amazing. The atmosphere in the stadium has been amazing. The streets have been packed ever since I got here day one. And all I can say so far, the issues that have been reported, etc., by the media, I've not seen any of that so far. I mean, I don't know whether that's a hidden agenda or from the Western culture, but all I can say is that Qatar's been absolutely amazing so far. The citizens, the local workers have all been amazing. They've put on an absolutely amazing show here for the visiting nations, visiting fans. Restaurants have been packed, bars packed, there's been fans here, and unfortunately they don't sell alcohol in most places. You have to go and seek it out in special selective hotels and bars and whatnot, but it's still been absolutely amazing.
We now cross to Dan Perry, who's speaking to the manager at Grumpy Monkey about how the Southampton bar is gearing up for the much anticipated clash. Dan, what's happening?
Yes, thank you, Adam. Yeah, I'm here at Grumpy Monkey, as I said, where in just under half hour's time, the place will be packed out. People will start coming in. It's fully booked tonight. There's more tables out than there normally is. I know on a Friday and Saturday there's never tables in the middle. As you can see here, there are. The decorations for the World Cup are up everywhere. The England flag in front of the bar there. Flags everywhere, all over the place. I'm joined now by bartender Reggie and floor supervisor Gemma. Reggie, first, how have you prepared differently today ahead of the game?
We've set up more tables, all staff in, every three staff, two or three staff are in positions, and make sure we're tapped.
Lovely. And Gemma, what are you expecting as floor supervisor for your team? Has anything changed for the floor team?
So we've got a lot less masks to collect from plastic tonight, which is a big bonus for us because I don't want to get smashed by glass tonight with celebrations going on. But other than that, mainly, like Reggie said, we've got more tables going on. There is going to be a lot more standing people, which is a shame for them. But if you want to watch the match, get here early.
Okay, and Gemma, can I get a score prediction?
I'm going to say 3-1 to England.
Reggie, score prediction, please. 2-0. Well, I know for myself, I will be here back at Grumpy Monkey with a beer in hand, watching the game, and I'm expecting a 3-0 England win. Come on, boys, bring it home.
Thanks, Dan. In around half an hour, the Netherlands face Ecuador in their second group game. Louis van Gaal's side beat Senegal 2-0 on Monday, whilst Ecuador defeated tournament host Qatar by the same scoreline. Memphis Depay could start for the Netherlands after coming off the bench against Senegal, following a 2-month injury layoff. Dylan Chavas spoke to former Dutch international Collins John about the Netherlands' chances both this evening and in the tournament in general.
What do you make of the current Dutch side?
I think the squad is pretty, it's pretty what people expected he's going to pick. And all the familiar faces, obviously, Van Dijk, Memphis and Gakpo, De Ligt, Frankie de Jong. So that's obviously our core of our team. I think the important player is not playing. Obviously he came on, is Memphis Depay. Without him in the squad, you can see the difference in, obviously in goal. I think he's equal tally with Van Persie. He's a big plus. Obviously when he came on, he kind of changed the dynamic of the game, and he's such an important player for us. And of course, Van Dijk is the captain. He's an unbelievable player. I think there's no doubt. And Frankie de Jong is having a okay season at Barcelona. He's not really playing every game, but for Holland, he's untouchable. He's the man on the midfield. I think 2014 we had a great team with Van Persie, Sneijder, Robben. There was some big players, and there was a mixture of young players as well. Memphis was young at the time.
How do you think he'll do this tournament?
Well, I think if we make the semi-final, I think that will be a big applause from everybody in Holland. When I look at this World Cup, I don't think the level is that high. I was big surprised about the level of the games.
I guess just a quick word on Louis van Gaal.
Yeah, he's a great coach. I mean, I have a lot of respect for him. I think a lot of people have a lot of respect for him. He's very good with media. He's the type of guy. He's a grandfather figure, isn't it? Everybody look at him thinking, he knows so much about football. Everything is football. Everything is discipline. Everything is team spirit. You can see that in the team as well. I don't think, like I said, I think it's a debate. I don't think our team is that strong. But he make it very strong because the team spirit is spot on. All the 26 guys like each other. He just know how to kind of like gel everybody into to each other, and I think that's very important because it's a long 4 weeks. You need some banter, you need to laugh, you need your family around. So he's very smart with that. If we do win the tournament, I think Van Gaal will be a big factor to make it happen.
What did you make of Ecuador, and what threat do you think they can pose to?
I think Ecuador is outsider. I think they're gonna go to the knockout phase. I really do. I think Ecuador looks strong. They look organized. They look disciplined. They look strong. They look hungry. They look again like Holland, very team. Everybody likes each other.
If you had to make a score prediction, what would you go for?
I think it's going to be 1-1.
Right, we're going to throw back to Ben again to find out his thoughts. We've heard what Colin's John has to say. Ben, what's your predictions? What's your thoughts ahead of the clash?
In terms of predictions, I think Holland will come out strong again. I expect them to go and win this game, to be honest, considering I know Ecuador look great. I know the likes of Enner Valencia did get his brace on the other day, but I do think, again, Holland's quality will prevail. I've just got some team news here as well, actually. The man that we've mentioned, Memphis Depay, doesn't start for Holland. They've had a bit of a change in system here. They're still playing a back five, but instead they've pushed Cody Gakpo up front alongside Steven Bergwijn, and they've dropped centre-half from Bayern Munich, Matthijs de Ligt, and Julian Timbers came in for him because de Ligt really struggled the other night against Senegal, really struggled against the likes of Ismail Assar. They're still setting up as a back five, but no Memphis Depay again. So again, it's a very attacking lineup considering they are playing a back five. I still expect Holland to go and win this game.
Yeah, so do I, to be fair. I think you've got the Dutch, all the heritage they've got in football, you just think they're going to have too much for Ecuador, really.
Absolutely.
Cheers for that, Ben. Going away from football now, World Athletics Association has been urged not to ban Kenya from the sport following a string of doping cases from the Kenyan camp. 55 of their athletes are currently suspended, and Minister Abu Nwamba has said, "We can't allow our nation to be banned because of the actions of some greedy individuals." Next up, our reporter Adam Tilner went to the Quays in Southampton to learn about the local swimming club.
We are here at the Quays Swimming Centre in Southampton to speak to the head coach of the City of Southampton Swimming Club, Matt Heathcock.
Hi, my name is Matt Heathcock and I am the head coach of City of Southampton Swimming Club. 40 years of age. and my role is in charge of all of the pool time and squads that we offer. So City of Southampton Swimming Club as of next year will be 60 years old. I am a former member and swimmer in my younger days, and I actually got family that was the former head coach, my father, in 1976 to 1993. My godparents were Olympians that swam for the club, and I've gone through and been a swimmer and gone into coaching, and now I've taken on the role here as of August this year, so I've only been here a short time.
Here at the swimming club, you can start from a very young age, continue up the ranks, and compete in competitive races at their open meets or other events nationwide.
I am in charge of the performance squad, which is the top end of the programme, but I also oversee all of the squads with the staff. We talk about pathways. We own a Learn to Swim, so there is a starting point from swimming, and then we bring them and introduce them into competitive swimming.
The swimmers have strict practice sessions where they focus on improving themselves, especially by cardio.
What do we do normally? So basically we send out 6-week cycles to the swimmers, and that gives them an idea of what the main theme of each session is going to be around energy systems. As a coach, I have a year planner, so we have our target open meets. We also have our swim through meets, which basically means that we will be training hard and we'll be going into racing pretty fatigued, but the aim is to improve our racing skills, underwater phases. The swimmers have 9 sessions available a week. They're expected to do 6 to 7.
We have spoken to some of the swimmers at the club, one from the Masters and one from the older age group that still do the sport that they love.
My name's Mark. I'm at Southampton University. I'm 25 and I'm currently in my 4th year of computer science PhD. So I started when I was about 8 years old, just at my local club, and then competed generally in counties, regionals and nationals up to 18. Last weekend we just went up to Buck Short Course, and I got my PB in 200 freestyle, which is the first one since I was 18, so about 9 years ago.
James McTavish. So I coach the Masters here at Southampton Swimming Club, and I've been here since I was 8 years old, so I joined the club in 1990. Did make nationals about 22 years ago in the 200 fly, hence the Toblerone shape. I now do Masters, so that's people over the age of 25 and don't know when to quit, and I've coached them for about 15 years, and Masters is the sport for life element of swimming. So when you get to a certain level, you don't want to do the training, as said before, for the youngsters. You just want to keep fit, stay active, keep social, and there's loads of competitive opportunities for Masters. We've just come back from inter-counties at the London Aquatic Centre for Hampshire. We did really well, we won. There's regional, there's county, and there's national level as well, and it's really taking off, so yeah, it's great.
Matt has told us that there needs to be a system in place that makes students in schools have an interest in swimming.
I think that's a bigger conversation to have. I think if you look at swimming, is it taught at a young age, at the right time, at the right place? Are schools introducing swimming like they should do? As I said, that's a different conversation. I think there's a lot of interest if you get it right. But the great thing for City of Southampton is that we own our own Learn to Swim, so we're able to teach them and direct them into our competitive pathway. But the door is always open for swimmers to come and have a look, of all ages.
From the Key Swimming Centre, I've been Adam Silver for Solent Sports News.
Rugby now. England face world champions South Africa at Twickenham tomorrow. Off the back of England's comeback 25-all draw with New Zealand, momentum is high in the England camp. South Africa are on the back of a 63-21 victory over Italy. It's a repeat of the 2019 World Cup final where South Africa ended up on top. That's all for today. Remember, you can keep up to date with the latest news on our website, solentjournalism.co.uk. But most importantly, make sure you set an extra place at the table tonight because football's coming home. Have a great weekend.